Good morning, Bears fans. Harrison Graham here from Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. And the Bears have made a signing. It is linebacker Dylan Cole, who agrees to terms with the Bears. He visited Hallis Hall on Wednesday and now agrees to a deal here on Thursday morning. We're going to break this all down. But before we do, hopped out of the shower, got some notifications that the Bears had made a signing, and before fighting traffic to get into a studio, I said, you know what, I want to get this video out as fast as possible, as early as possible, which, hey, whether we're at studio, whether we're at home, we're bringing you the latest Bears news, rumors, free agency, and draft coverage. Subscribe to the channel, support the movement. Wherever I'm at, when news drops, we're going to hit you guys with a video. We're less than 300 subs away from 64,000. If we get there by Monday, I would be very, very happy. Help support the cause. All right, Dylan Cole, on a contract with the Chicago Bears. Believe a one-year deal, and listen, this is a depth signing. Let's just get that out of the way. You kind of look at his background in the NFL. 6-year vet, primarily a special teams guy. Spent the first 4 years of his career with the Houston Texans. Last 2 years of his career with the Tennessee Titans. Went to college at Missouri State. 6 foot, 240, 28 years old. So still a young player, but you kind of think about what the Bears have done at linebacker now. They've gone from maybe the worst linebacker room with no depth to one of the best with a lot of depth, right? I mean, you've got Tremaine Edmunds and TJ Edwards, your 1-2 punch. Right now, I would say Jack Sanborn is your Sam linebacker, or just your third linebacker. You've got Dylan Cole, who I think is an ideal LB4. I'll explain why in a minute. Sterling Weatherford, who was a UDFA last year, who I'm intrigued with. Good special teams player. Maybe you add someone in the draft, but you're pretty set at linebacker, to be honest. You really don't have to force the issue. DeMarquis Skates is under contract as well, USFL star from last year who was on the Bears practice squad for most of the season and ended up on the 53 late in the year due to injuries. But your linebacker room is top-heavy and it's deep. You've got good players at the top in Edmunds and Edwards, and you've got good depth now with Sanborn, Dylan Cole, and Sterling Weatherford, who I think could be a good player, is already a good player on special teams. Now, the reason I think Dylan Cole is an ideal LB4 and I think is a good fit here is because last year he got a lot of experience as a linebacker. I mentioned he's been primarily a special teams guy, but last year he started 8 games at linebacker for Tennessee, a career high. He had only started 1 game in his entire career before that, and that was his rookie season, which he had 2 picks as a rookie as well, so he's got some ball skills. But 64 tackles last year, had a sack, had a pass breakup, 4 tackles for loss, did some good things for the Titans a year ago, and his PFF grades were actually decent for a reserve having to start a lot. Overall was in the 50s, but his run defense was 65, struggled in coverage last year with a sub-50 grade, but this is a backup, an LB4 type, a guy who's had some experience now. He's been in the league for 6 years. He's a good special teams player, and if he's forced into action at linebacker, I don't think it's a huge deal. Again, at best, he's your LB4 right now. Sanborn showed a lot as a rookie. He's going to be higher in the pecking order. You've got Edmunds and Edwards, so I don't think you should be worrying like, oh, if we're signing Dylan Cole, that's not a good sign. I actually think it is. It's bolstering a position with more depth. I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. So Dylan Cole here on a 1-year deal. Grade the signing A, B, C, D, or F. Go ahead and drop a grade down in the comments. And Dylan Cole here on another note joins DeMarcus Walker and Nate Davis as the third former Titan to come over this offseason. So you've got that as well. Not sure what to make of that. I think it's probably just a coincidence as the Bears have also added 3 Panthers, DJ Moore, PJ Walker, and Deontay Foreman. Good note from ESPN's Courtney Cronin. Now, should mention, as he's come in, the Bears have lost a couple of linebackers Matt Adams signed with the Cleveland Browns. I believe that was yesterday. I think Dylan Cole fills that void. Special teams guy, can play linebacker if you need him to. Nick Morrow, who was a starter last year, he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I wasn't surprised to see either of them go after Edmonds and Edwards signed, because there really wasn't a starting role for either of those guys. Nick Morrow probably will start for Philadelphia because they let TJ Edwards go. We'll see if that's true for Matt Adams, but Cole kind of fills that special teams void. Sanborn and Weatherford can play on special teams, so you didn't really have a need to bring back Matt Adams. But Dylan Cole joins the movement here for the Chicago Bears, and what's been a quiet week 2 of free agency, right? It was a busy first 3-4 days as the Bears signed, 6, 7, 8 players in free agency. Edmonds, Edwards, Nate Davis, DeMarcus Walker, Deontay Foreman, PJ Walker, Robert Tonyan. And then this is the first signing since, I believe, last Friday. So the Bears went 6 days without signing someone, but they still have $40 million in cap space. To reach the cap floor, they got to spend, I think, $44 million in cash, not necessarily cap space. So that could count for like extensions. That could count for in-season signings. They just have to spend that much before next offseason. But you got to think another notable move or two is still coming for Ryan Poles, right? Like, I don't think that they're just going to sit on $40 million and not bring in anyone else. Now, maybe there's no big splash signing. Maybe the Yannick Ngakoue pipe dream doesn't happen. I would love to see it happen. Hashtag bring Yannick to Chicago. But, I do think that the Bears still want to prioritize the draft, but at the same time, they will have to spend some money. Now, I think some of that cash spending will be on an extension or two. Cole Kmet, Jalen Johnson. Do they extend one of Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool? Maybe. So that could help spend out some of that cash. Obviously, the Bears want to be flexible next offseason as well, both in draft capital and in cap space. But I still think they will sign another notable player or two because they kind of just have to at the end of the day. Like, they're going to have to spend some money. And you can just do one-year deals, right? Like, if you're Ryan Poles and you want to remain flexible, sign Yannick Ngakoue to a nice little payday 1 or 2 year deal. I don't think there's any problem with that whatsoever if you are the Chicago Bears. What do you guys think? Who will the Bears sign next in NFL free agency? Who do you think is that next signing for the Bears? Let me know in the comment section down below who is the next signing. The last time I asked you that question, I don't think many people would have typed in the name Dylan Cole. In fact, let me know, did you know who Dylan Cole was before yesterday when it was announced he was visiting there? Be honest, Y for yes and for no. Curious what you guys think. But we can't just scoff at these minor signings because good teams become great with quality depth. Not that the Bears are a good team yet and Dylan Cole makes them great. That's not what I'm saying. But teams that stay at the top, they're deeper than their starting 22. You've got to have quality depth pieces. Dylan Cole is that. So I like bringing him into the fold. We'll see what is next in store for Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus and the rest of the staff, Ian Cunningham, the rest of the coaching staff, etc. Obviously, I mentioned they're focused on the draft. They were at Ohio State's pro day yesterday, checking out Paris Johnson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, probably keeping an eye on Dawan Jones, although I'm told I don't think he worked out or he didn't do much, so not sure what to make of that from Dawan Jones, but certainly Jackson Smith and Jigba took a lot of the headlines yesterday. We talked about it here on Bears Now. We've talked about Paris Johnson Jr. a lot. I think he's a prime candidate to be the Bears draft pick with the number 9 selection, and I think Bama's pro day is today, or it was, I think it's today. Yeah, either way. They're flying around. They're visiting these guys, these draft picks. So things are going to continue to heat up with the draft closing in. And again, I still think some free agent moves are going to be around the corner. All right, guys, like I mentioned at the top, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 64,000. Join the rocket ship here at Bears Now. I will be back with another video later in studio, so be on the lookout for that. Bear down, FGB. You guys know the motto. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at HGramNFL. Appreciate your support. We'll see you guys soon.